My name's Linda Booth. I bought a property through Joe Bell's service, BuySmart. I was looking to buy a property in the Bayside area, basically a new home for me. I'd been in Melbourne for a few years, previously been over in Perth, so I was been renting for a while and was looking to purchase occupy a home that I could, spend the next few years in at least. Well, the sort of properties that I've been looking for, obviously wouldn't mind living, in the $1 million properties, but my budget was a little bit more restricted. So I was looking down the Frankston, ended up looking down the Frankston way because, they're offering a lot more affordable homes, bigger blocks. And I really wanted a place that had a lot more living area, bigger bedrooms, bit of garden, and a place that I could basically have a work study area because I'll be working from home for a lot more. So, and then probably something that I could do a little bit of projects with along the way because I like renovating. So, I found a place and I'm very happy with it. It's a good home. Oh, well, the end result was great. I found a home that basically matched off all of my needs, all the things that I was looking for, in the right area, close to the beach, close to shopping centres, easy walk for me, close to public transport, so that if I do need to make the trek into the city for work, then it's going to be a lot easier for me than being, stuck a little bit more out in the suburbs. And yeah, just sort of hopefully it'll present the sort of lifestyle that I'm looking for. Living, as I said before, I've been living in Melbourne for a few years now, but originally a Perth girl, so I know Perth quite well, and I've bought properties in Perth, but hadn't bought a property in Melbourne, and I'm not familiar with all of the suburbs, especially we were in Melbourne was in stage 4 lockdown. It was really difficult to get out and about and really explore some of the areas that I was thinking of buying in. So I really needed someone that would help me in this process, coupled with the fact that the place that I'm currently in at the moment is being sold, and the lease was coming up, and so we were going to have to move within a very short period of time. So I didn't really have a lot of time to explore. I wasn't allowed to explore either, with the COVID restrictions. So I really needed someone that could help me find a place really quickly and help me so I wasn't wasting time on the wrong properties, but find some good properties so I could really focus on them and and hopefully purchase quickly, which is what I did. Well, working with Jo was really great. As I said, I'd bought property before, but she opened up some different areas of buying real estate that I hadn't had a look at before, and especially having that Victorian Melbourne market knowledge. Maybe had a look at some areas that I hadn't had previously had a look at before. Looked at properties from more of a growth perspective, using the RP data that she's got access to. So really looking for not just a home to live in, but hopefully an investment in the future. As I'm not getting any younger, so definitely need all that the help in terms of securing my future as well in property. So how I came to work with Jo, I was introduced to her by a friend. So we set up a meeting to start off with, and she taught me through the process of how she works and what she does and what she's got on offer and how she can really help me. And from basically at the end of that meeting, sort of thought, well, I really need her help, and so agreed on the spot. I went away, I wrote a brief. I'm pretty good at writing briefs, so I wrote a pretty big detailed one for her, and I thought I'd given her a bit of a challenge. She rose to the occasion, and from then we sort of gave me some shortlisted properties to go and have a look at on the weekends, And they all had to be by appointment. You couldn't just wander down to Frankston because it was out of my 5 kilometre zone. So they were all booked in with the real estate agents, which she had done. So then once I'd visited the properties, we'd catch up later on, in either in the evening or, a phone call, and basically went through the sort of property, what I thought, what I liked, what I didn't like, and then helped as I drove around. I sort of had got a bit more of an idea of the sorts of places that were down there and what I liked. Fed that back into her as well, and we had probably it was only over a couple of weekends that I actually visited properties, and then from that it was the market was hotting up and sales were really, going through very quickly. So we chose a couple of properties to put some offers on. From that, I was unsuccessful on one of them, which was probably which was fine because I had my heart set on one of the other properties. From that, we put in a really good offer, and a very strong offer. And from that, there was, from the real estate agent, I believe there was 54 viewings on that particular weekend, and from that they had 12 offers presented to the vendor, and mine was the 3rd highest, but it was probably the most strongest and the one they referred. So they actually ended up dealing with us direct. Wanted to deal with us in terms of that particular offer and work with it and develop it a bit more. And in the end, our offer was accepted. So it was, even though it had been the third, the 3rd highest, it was the better offer that was presented, and that was purely the strategy that that Jo helped put together with me to present, and she did all the negotiating with the real estate agent in order to get that deal done. I suppose one of the things that surprised me about working with Jo and the process was I'm normally a little bit risk adverse, and I normally like to have all my bases covered. But Jo really helped, push me along to present that really strong offer, and it was nerve-wracking, I must admit, but it was the right strategy and probably pushed me out of my comfort zone, quite a bit. And it was a bit, I must admit, it was a bit nerve-wracking, but it paid off, and she was right. It was the best strategy because that's what won the deal. Did Jo make a difference? Absolutely. I wouldn't have been able to have bought this property without her. She absolutely made a difference to the whole process. She made a difference in terms of all the help that she provided, but also just pushing me to get the property that I wanted. And she provided the added security of knowing that if I was buying something, that it was going to be an investment for the future. So, there was that. So, yeah, I don't think I would have achieved buying the property in the record time that I did. I wouldn't have probably got the property that I have got, and I probably wouldn't have got it at the price I got it at. So, without Jo, I definitely wouldn't be moving when I am. What's the most exciting thing about the new home? Well, being able to find a new place to live for me and a couple of cats I've got. This is Logan, and there's a nice big garden he's going to be able to explore in, and I'm excited to show him and the other cat, Lulu, the new property, which won't be very much longer. So, got a new home for us all, and a great outdoor area, entertaining area. So we'll be having lots of parties, won't we, Logan? Did it matter where Jo was based? No, not really. She could have been around the corner as far as I was concerned. She knew the area. She knows Victoria. She knew the real estate industry. She knows, she's got contacts here. We were always basically a phone call, an email, or a Zoom meeting away. So we were catching up, very regularly. So it wasn't like, I was missing out with her not being here. We had a lot of information that she was supplying of that local knowledge. So yeah, it made no difference at all. Well, I've used Joe's network of contacts throughout the process. For starters, we needed to get my finance organised. I've been using another finance company that basically, was going slow. I wasn't getting much result from them, so she put me on to her mortgage broker that I've been using, and they're fabulous. They've turned things around really quickly. I'm using her conveyancing service, the supplier that she's recommended there, and they've been great. They're onto everything straight away. When we did building inspection reports, and she had some people that she reached out to do that straight away, and they did a great job as well. So yeah, there's been just about every step of the way I've used someone in her network to get the job done, and then they've all been very helpful and reasonably priced, and it's got the job done in record time. So yeah, thanks, Joe. It's been helpful, very helpful. I'll be using their services in next time round, if that's the case. If that whenever that might be. Well, Australia's got lots of opportunities. Victoria's got lots of opportunities at the moment. Yeah, I think there's plenty of buying. There's it's a safe market. It's always had good good growth. The interest rates are pretty low as well at the moment. So yeah, I would recommend anyone buying in Australia. Especially we're probably looking one of the most desirable locations at the moment, because we're COVID, just about COVID free. So compared to the rest of the world, so Australia's a great place to live, but it's also a great place to have a property. So I'd highly recommend anyone to buy in Australia. Would I recommend Joe? I'd recommend Joe, absolutely. Without Joe, I wouldn't have been able to make this purchase property. And using a buyer's advocate, has basically opened up my eyes in terms of having that basically the arm's length of the real estate agent, basically with during the contract phase, helping you stay away from that emotional connection, and basically with the her professionalism, the support she provided, her assistance all along the way. I would definitely recommend Joe to anyone that I knew that was looking for a property, and especially within Melbourne or further afield. Very helpful, and a true professional. Thanks, Joe. Thanks from Logan and Lulu and myself for going to enjoy the new home. It's going to be a pleasure, I think, and don't forget to come on by and drop by and have a bubbles out on the nice decking area that we've got. So yeah, looking forward to anyway. Thanks, Joe.